Hey everyone. Yeah, I thought, first of all, I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a safe Christmas day with your family and friends. It's hard to believe that it's already here, but, here it is. But, that's not that's not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm here to talk about is something that, kind of struck me a little bit when I was watching Doug Walker's um, recent video for his Disney December 2014. And what struck me was he basically one of the things he talked about was, it was a question he asked was, is Frozen overly exposed? Is it basically being overly exploited for what it is? Now I know some people might agree with that. Me honestly, I don't think it is. I mean, true, you have the merchandise here and there. But in fact, I purchased some of that merchandise as gifts. But no, I don't think it is overly exploited because to me, when I look at Frozen, I look at something that is one of those movies that comes around, that's made and comes around once in a while. It's one of those movies that, I own it on Blu-ray, that you want to watch, but you only watch once in a while because it's that good. It's that good. It's that kind of movie that you don't want to overexpose to yourself by watching it day after day after day. I mean, I know if you got young kids and all that, boys and girls that are into it, that yeah, you'll probably have to put it on just to keep them busy, especially during the Christmas vacation. But every now and then, no, no, I don't think it's overly exploited. I really don't. I think what it was is it hit a chord. It hit a chord with a lot of people. Now, some might say that one of those chords is exactly what people have criticized the film for, and that's its obvious reference to lesbian incest between Anna and Elsa. And hey, if they feel that way, fine. And if that's what's helping it, if that's what's attracting people to the movie and getting them to enjoy the movie, even though it's not true, even though that's not true about the movie, then so be it. So be it, But I think it's more than that. I think it's the fact that it broke the mold of what an animated Disney film is about, especially a fairy tale. It broke the mold. It went in directions you didn't see coming. And I think honestly that's what helped it. And I think that's what has caused the gravitational pull of people towards it. It's the fact that it's something different from Disney. That yeah, it's one of the traditional Disney fairy tales. It goes back to that root, but it's also something different. It goes in the direction that, like, okay, it has, as Doug puts it, the traditional Disney formula in some areas, like with Christopherson and Anna, but it also makes fun of it. And then in the fact that in the end, not to give much away, it's not the handsome prince or the dashing hero or the clumsy hero or the unexpected hero, the underdog, if you will, that saves the day. No, not to give much away, but it's the sisters that do it. It's the love for each other that do it. And again, I know some people might say kind of no, I know some people might say, well, that's one of the reasons the movie gets criticized because it's basically going in a direction that indicates lesbian incense, but in fact doesn't. And I think that's what basically is the gravitational pull. Is all this talk about does it or does it not represent this or that, accidentally or purposely or whatever. And to me, that's what causes something in the eyes of people to be overly exposed, or overly exploited, aided by companies like Disney. Disney sees the popularity, sees the phenomenon that's been created. And no, it's not just about the song that the movie's going to really be, remembered for the most. It's not just the songs or the main song, Let It Go. It's basically the fact that it's a movie that just hit that chord. And you know what? Let's take a look at it this way. If from a positive standpoint, if from a positive standpoint, that chord that it hit, from a positive standpoint, may be with lesbians in a sense because of that, reference or that indication in the eyes of some, even though it's not really there. It's just part of the story. It's just, it's just something that may look like it, but it's not. If you get my drift. If that's what's causing people to gravitate towards it, because some people indicate in, indicating or forcibly are trying to say, hey, look, this movie, this is Disney's own way of promoting lesbian innocence or lesbianism, all that, and whatever, gay rights and all that. If that's what's causing the gravitational pull towards it, then fine. Fine, okay? But you know what? Disney didn't do that. All Disney did was take a story, a very popular Hans Christian Andersen story, The Snow Queen, add their own original elements, and voila, you get Frozen. I mean, it just worked on every chord, is what it did. And there are certain things about it that, yeah, will get criticized because of the fact that it does seem to indicate towards what I've talked about, but it doesn't. It's just a good story that just hit every chord. And if you're going to have lesbians and gay couples and all that, lesbian couples and all that, and gay couples go and see the movie because, or watch the movie because people are indicating, critics are indicating that, oh, this is why it's popular and this is what it's promoting, even though it's not, then so be it. You know what? You don't got Disney to blame. Those critics got themselves to blame for saying that and for the phenomenon that Frozen has become because of their assumption that it's something that it's not. And again, you can't blame Disney for cashing in on it sometimes. I mean, how many other studios that have had big hit movies that have become phenomenons that have not cashed in on it? There have been a lot. This one, again, to me, in my opinion, just hit the right chord. So do I think Disney's overexposing it? Overexploiting it? No. I mean, even if the Disney Parks Christmas Day Parade, which I'll be recording by the time you watch this, or had recorded, is being, named after Frozen for this year, then no, I don't think they have. I think it's just a phenomenon they know that people enjoy. It's just something that people can relate to and they like it. It just hit the chord in all the right areas. So, to me, honestly, in closing, I don't think Frozen's been overly exposed or overly exploited. I mean, if you would have, even if it is, if you would have blamed anybody, as much as I hate to say this, don't blame Disney. Blame those that have criticized it for it being something, and assuming of it being something that it's not. So, with that in mind, I hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a nice Christmas day with your family and friends.